Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Math Monday. I'm Miss Barnes, and the segment that follows is for kindergartners through second graders. Friends, today we're going to be working on a specific strategy called near doubles. In just a second, we'll go through the objective, but you definitely need to make sure that you have a writing utensil and paper ready for our lesson today, as we are going to create another part whole map. And then we will go through our strategies. So our objective is I can use the strategy of near doubles to solve addition problems. Today's tools, we will be using a part whole map. We'll also be using red and yellow counters, and you will need a writing utensil and paper. Remember, a couple weeks ago, we talked about how to create a part whole map if you don't have one. And all you need is a piece of paper, and I'll just rip one out of my notebook here. All you need is a piece of paper, and then remember to create the map, you'll fold it in half. Okay. This time we're going to create it just a little differently. And we're going to draw a black line about a quarter down the way. So you'll just draw one black line. And then I'm going to draw a black line horizontally across the page, just like this. And then I'm going to add a box at the top. And this is our completed part whole map for today. So take a second and let's get ready to learn. All right, getting started. Make sure you have your part whole map close to you, and make sure you can either color on it with your colored pencils or crayons or markers, or make sure you can draw in it and erase with a regular pencil. We are going to do 3 problems today if there's time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. Remember, as we're solving word problems, we need to make sure that we're reading the whole question first so that we understand how to give the answer. So our first step here is going to be reading the whole question first. Read with me. Alex has 4 apples and I have 5 apples. How many apples do we have? Write an equation and justify your thinking. Now, as we're getting started today, we're going to talk about a couple of the words that are in this word problem. And the first one we are going to talk about is the word equation. So I'm going to take my drawing tool here, and I'm going to highlight in yellow the word equation. Equation is an important math word, and an equation is this down here at the bottom of your screen. An equation always has an equal sign. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it can't be an equation. So that's the first really important word. The second really important word is justify. And justify means to prove what you're thinking and how you got your answer. So as we're working today, we're going to use our model on the part whole map to justify the way that we're thinking. We're also going to write some stuff on the right side of your screen that will help us justify our answer at the very end. So let's get started. We're going to go back and reread the question again, and then we'll get started with our model. Alex has 4 apples and I have 5 apples. Let's stop there. We're just going to draw a line. Alex has 4 apples. How do you model that in our part whole map? So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these counters and I'm just going to move it. Maybe, if it lets me. There. now I can do it. I'm just going to move the counter over into, so I'm going to move a red counter up above the word apples because I want to use the red counters to show how many apples Alex has. Then what I'll do is I'll take the red counters and I'll move them into the part whole map. And I need 4 of them because Alex has 4 apples. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now the second part of that sentence says, I have 5 apples. So I'm going to model with the yellow counters how many apples I have. And then we'll count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I need to write an equation that goes with my model. If I'm going to do, as I'm doing that, I'm going to change my marker color. And I'm going to write down below my equation. So the first number in the equation, the first addend, is going to be 4 because that's how many apples Alex has. The second number in the equation, the one that follows the plus sign, is going to be 5 because that's how many apples I have. Now, when we talk about the strategy of near doubles, it's really important to remember your doubles. So can you find a double fact that is close to 4 plus 5? Remember, doubles are facts that have the same number in both addend positions. So the double fact that I remember easiest associated with this is 4 plus 4. I know that 4 plus 4 equals 8. I also know that 4 plus 5 is the same as 4 plus 4 plus 1. This is how I use that doubles fact when I'm trying to solve for a problem that's really close to a doubles fact. So I know that 5 and 4 plus 1 are equal. So I've done what's called substitute 4 plus 1 into that spot to make it just a little bit easier. So now we can say on the right side of this equation, we can say that we know that 4 plus 5 equals, and then do you remember what we said about 4 plus 4? What does that equal? That equals 8. So we've taken this part out, but we still have the plus 1 at the end. So now I know that 4 plus 5 is the same as 8 plus 1. Then I know that 4 plus 5 is the same as, what's 8 plus 1? Can you tell me? That's right, 8 plus 1 is 9. So now I know that 4 plus 5 equals 9. And I used the near doubles facts to get to my answer. Let's go back to our equation underneath our model. The equation here says 4 plus 5 equals 9. And we can justify our thinking both with our model, we could count the total of counters there, or with our comparison on the right side. That was a lot of steps, and I'm sure you're ready for a break. So take a quick moment here, and we're gonna get ready for problem number 2. All right, are you ready for the second question? Here we go. Sam eats 4 tacos for dinner. His sister Roxy eats 3 tacos for dinner. How many tacos did the kids eat in all? Now you'll notice the first thing that I've done is I've placed a red counter above Sam's tacos and a yellow counter above Roxy's tacos. I did that so that I could keep track of who has which color counter. Now we need to go back and reread one sentence at a time, and we need to build our model in the part whole map. The first sentence says, Sam eats 4 tacos for dinner. And then we'll stop there. How do you model that in your part whole map? Can you place 4 red counters in your part whole map? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great job. Next, the next sentence says, his sister Roxy eats 3 tacos for dinner. Stop there. How do you model that? Pick up your yellow counters and let's count 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, if you don't have counters, you could just be drawing circles and filling them in on your page. So here's our model. Sam eats 4 tacos for dinner. His sister eats 3 tacos for dinner. Now our question is, how many tacos did the kids eat in all? So now we need to write a statement to answer that question. And the statement I'm going to write says the kids ate blank tacos. And remember, we put that blank here so that we know that they ate some tacos and we have to figure out how many. Let's do that part now. So next we're going to work on our equation. So down at the bottom here, we're going to write our equation, and then we will solve using the blank space on the right of your screen. When we're writing our equation here, we need to start with 4 because there are 4 counters on the left side. Then we're going to add 3 to that number sentence. Now we have to think about solving, and in order to do that, I want you to think of a doubles fact that is almost 4 plus 3. Can you think of one? The one that I would use is 3 plus 3. Do you know what 3 plus 3 is? I knew you did. It's 6. Great job. So I know that 3 plus 3 is almost 4 plus 3. How many more do we have to add to get from 3 plus 3 to 4 plus 3? Well, I know that 3 plus 1 equals 4. And then I have to add the other 3. So I know that 3 plus 3 equals 6. And then I have to add 1 to it, and you know what 6 plus 1 is. 6 plus 1 is 7. So I also know that 4 plus 3 equals 7. So how many tacos did the kids eat? Well, the kids ate 7 tacos. That's all we have time for today, friends. There is one more problem that I'm going to put up for you. And as we are closing out here, if you'd like to copy it down and work on it, you can do so. So here's the last problem that I have for you today. Remember, if you'd like to share any of your work with me, you can find me on Twitter. Your parents can find me on Twitter at MissB_KCPS. It was great having you in class this week. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the work that you're doing. And remember to take care of yourselves. See you next week.